now my pleasure to introduce the next storyteller, who says this about her favorite Jewish food, prune hamantaschen. I love the contrast between crisp, buttery outside and soft inside. Historically, the prune has taken a backseat to other dried fruits due to its poopy appearance. This is unfair and short-sighted. Not only delicious, the classic prune hamantaschen serves a practical purpose in aiding the digestive system of Jews worldwide. Reading her story, A Jewish Demonstration of Love, please welcome Laura Taple.
I was never a big fan of Valentine's Day. I largely saw it as a Hallmark holiday that typically ended with me alone in bed, spooning a box of assorted chocolate truffles. But this year was different. I had met the one. Norm was like a magical Jewish unicorn. And judging by J-date, they were near extinction. I saw the approach of Valentine's Day as an opportunity to solidify my unicorn's love. Immediately, I called my girlfriend, who is known amongst close friends as a romantic visionary. And yes, that is a thing, a romantic visionary. Much to my dismay, her first comment was, "Laura, Jews don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. It's kind of a Christian thing. I mean, it's linked to a saint." Disgusted, I told her she was racist against Christians and hung up. I should have known better. This was my super Jew friend. My friend who refused to dress up for Halloween last year because she felt it was sacrilegious. Only poor merited a costume. As I pondered the book of Esther, it came to me, Valentine's Day with a Jewish spin. Look at me bedazzling things with Judaism. I would kick off the evening with a romantic dinner of Jewish cuisine using my future mother-in-law's Bible, the Temple of Aaron Sisterhood Cookbook. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. Norm would eat the same plum chicken and noodle kugel that generations of Jewish sisters had lovingly fed their besherets. That evening, with chicken and kugel perfected, Norm opened the door to a beautiful candlelight Valentine's dinner. As I beckoned him to the table, Neil Diamond belted out "Coming to America." While slightly perplexed by the music selection, Norm looked hopelessly smitten. But my amazingness, it didn't stop there, no. After dinner, a trail of rose petals led my unicorn to a bubble bath sprinkled with more petals. The tub was surrounded by candles, and the vanity held champagne and chocolate-covered macaroons. Brilliant. As Neil transitioned to Cherry Cherry, Norm and I sank into the small tub. Water spilled over the sides onto the bathroom tiles. I lovingly shoved a macaroon into Norm's mouth. A hunk of the chocolate top broke off into the tub, and we watched in quiet sadness as it bobbed amongst the flowers and bubbles. As it bobbed amongst the flowers and bubbles before unceremoniously sinking to the bottom. Shit. After 5 minutes, we were both hot, crowded, and highly uncomfortable. I decided this was one one of those romanticized ideas that's better in theory than practice. That is, unless you have an oversized soaking tub. We decided to cut the bathing portion of the evening short, but not before I could shove a couple flower petals in my mouth. Laura, what the fuck? Slightly agitated that I had to break down the obvious, I replied, hello, flowers can be edible. You see them on cakes, and I bought these at Byerly's, which is a grocery store. Though, admittedly, these did not taste edible. After my dessert of soggy macaroon and flower petal, we retired to bed to frolic amongst more flower petals before drifting off into a peaceful slumber. I'm a very tactile person, so before falling asleep, I rubbed a couple petals over my face for good measure. Now, disclaimer. Like many Jews, I have a plethora of allergies. They include cow's milk, dust mites, cats, and all variety of grass, aside from one type which consequently only grows in the South. I've never had an issue with flowers. Then again, I've never engaged with them on such an intimate level. Needless to say, I was in a complete state of panic when I awoke in the middle of the night and could barely breathe. Loudly gasping, I grabbed for Norm in the dark. He quickly flicked on the bedside lamp, looked at me, and shouted, "Oh God, my eyes!" I wasn't sure if he was shielding his eyes from the sudden flood of light or my appearance. I ran to the bathroom and screamed at my reflection in the mirror. My face and neck were completely broken out in angry, itchy hives, and my eyes red and swollen half shut. I looked even more absurd in my low-cut t-shirt that read "Eye Candy" in "Eye Candy" in bold letters across the chest. I quickly downed Benadryl, lest my tongue swell up. I didn't want to die looking like this. As the medicine kicked in, my allergic reaction began to slowly subside. Despite feeling better by morning, I didn't have it in me to go to my newest job as a fundraiser for the Minneapolis Jewish Federation. Being the new girl, I was hesitant to call in, but decided I shouldn't solicit Jews in my overly medicated, lethargic state. It was the only ethical thing to do. I left a matter-of-fact voicemail for my boss. "Hi, Mort, it's Laura. I had like a major allergic reaction to flowers last night. Without going into great detail, I bathed in some petals and then I ate one in a demonstration of walnuts. I look horrifying, so I will see you tomorrow." As it turned out, my voice message was promptly shared with the entire development team. Rightly so. Later that day, I received an email from one of my colleagues that simply read, "You are ridiculous. Hope you're feeling better. FYI, flowers are for smelling, not eating. Also, Jews don't really celebrate them."